We're back in Australia, where I wanted to show you a few different things I saw looking back at the maps last night. First of all, we're back at this massive coal mine, one of the biggest coal mines in the world, I think, and definitely the biggest one in Australia, as far as I remember. This is a hydro dam beside the coal mine, so I wanted to show you that. There's a little hydro plant here, and the water network backing up there for it. Equally interesting is over here. What's that? A little round. It's also interesting, kind of a round circle. I see these interesting shapes. This is like it's just like a running track or something. But an interesting one over here on one of the other mine sites was here, and it took me a moment to guess what this was. I thought it was maybe a mine pit going down, but what you actually notice is this is a continuous road. This is a bit unrelated now to the iron and coal economy of Australia, but this is just something interesting. So follow the road, it goes around here, continuous loop up around there, and then you see, oh, actually, it just goes in circles forever. So it's actually a racetrack of some description. Also, here you have some trails, some dirt bike trails. So I typed in racetrack near um, Loy Yang, and this is what you come up with. So it is actually a racetrack for motorbikes. Here you see it again, some kind of event going on there, and some dirt tracks. And here's a picture of a similar one again. Yeah, they've now some cool jumps and some cool curves. I actually noticed those curves here specifically, thinking, okay, that's a very wide corner. So yeah, that was quite interesting. The actual things I want to show you today are to do with the trains that service these coal and iron yards and ports. They are incredibly long. This is the coal site in Newcastle West, or just Newcastle, I forget what it's called exactly. This is a train, an extremely long train. So it starts here with three locomotives. Okay, actually, no, that's just the carriages, the wagons that hold the coal. Each of these holds up to a ton of coal, 100 tons of coal, I should say. When I was researching this, how heavy is a train wagon of coal? 100 to 125 tons. Also, some other sources there, giving us that rough idea. And I counted 84. Yeah, I think it was 84. So 84 carriages bringing all of this coal. And how long are these? Well, I also went onto Google Maps and did a calculation. This was a different train that was parked there. That's 1.5 kilometers long. The one that's parked on the Apple Maps is starting from here and ending there. So we can quickly give that a quick go. Clear measurement starting there. Measure distance up to the site where they get unloaded. Around this corner. And ends roughly here, I believe. It ends roughly there. So that's out to 1.5 kilometers long. Just extremely long, these train units. And what's also, again, interesting here is they come into this unloading station, and there are these conveyor belts that move the material out here. And then it gets distributed into these big, massive pits with these kind of crane machines that kind of move up and down these tracks and put it into big mountains of coal. So that was just the coal side of it. Then we also have these huge trains on the iron ore side. So this is the port at Dampier. I only saw this again last night coming back. This is a really, really long train at Dampier. Again, you can see here the actual iron ore is in the carriages, in the wagons, gets brought up to this unloading station where then it gets moved via conveyor belts of some description all the way out to the port. I'll just follow it out for clarity's sake. Very long conveyor belt all the way out to a big storage unit. These look like spices when you look at it from the sky like this, like different spices that you might see in a shop, in an oriental shop. And then it gets redistributed out to the boats, which of course we saw yesterday as well. Yeah, speaking of the boats, I wanted to quickly show you one last time the amount of boats at the port headland. This will also make sense in a minute why I'm showing you this port again. Just this is one of the bigger ports, and just look at the amount of boats that are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, space for more even. And look how many of these are being loaded right now, just to give you an idea of the size of the industry. Everyone that has an open section, in my opinion, is being loaded. So you can see that they're empty and they're being filled with these cranes. This one is closed already, so it could be already full. That one's been filled, that one's closed, that one's been filled live right now. I'm sure they wouldn't leave those doors open because to avoid rain and stuff. That one's been filled. These are big boats, big ships That one is open. That one is open. The same there. And I'm going to show you the rail network that goes from this port and the port that we saw at Dampier here. It's a very big rail network, and it probably moves, a huge percentage of the world's iron ore out to these ports, and trains that are, hundreds of carriages long. It is called the Hamersley and Robe River Railway, according to Wikipedia. Now, there are a few different lines. We're looking at the green one in particular. Down there you see the green one. That's Dampier, the port we were just looking at. Port Hedland's also a big port for that sort of thing. I haven't looked at any of these other mines, but I did look at this mine here, Brockman 4 and Brockman 2, and we're going to go and explore that in a minute. So some of the trains are 2 kilometers long, if I remember correctly. Okay, that's saying 2 kilometers were laid per day, but they did give us numbers for 236 wagons. Operations. The Rio Tinto iron ore trains consist of up to 236 wagons, each having a capacity of 116 tons. Trains up to 2.4 kilometers long and fully loaded weigh approximately 30,000 tons. An average cycle time of 28 hours. That might be how long they take to travel up and down. And here's an example of what they look like. I find this stuff really cool. I'm really into this kind of infrastructure stuff. Again, retired train. Do we have any more pictures? No, we don't. Okay, but let's have a quick look at where they're actually going to. And this is deep, deeper into the Australian countryside. I'll zoom out a bit for context. I won't move the mouse, but you can see. Okay, well I will. You can see up here. Those are the ports, and this is the mine. So you can kind of see how far that is. I hope I find this again. There maybe. That's one of them. But is it the one I want? Okay, I'll just search for it again. Brockman 2, I think. Oh yeah, Brockman 4. There we go. Yeah, so that's when I first typed in Brockman 4. This is what turned up, but there's a lot more to it than just this little depot. Here is part of the actual mine. Again, some big pits going down into the earth, massive site. But I want to actually show you the train section. Yeah, that's the train up there. Let's quickly look at the mine though. You can see how they've dug down into the earth, carving out the iron ore. And I'm assuming these mines are, keep going into all these mountain areas. There's probably no limit to how much they can continue to mine. Again, look at this, how big this site is, and how they've dug down into there. These little holes are interesting. I haven't figured out what they are. There's a car there, some big massive digger style machines for mining. Another mining machine there. Again, it just looks like something from Star Wars or some faraway planet. But I want to show you the train network. That's just a specific reason why I was actually looking at these mines. Just look at the size of that. Just endless. The train loads up over here on this big curve. And you can see there's actually a train in there right now. Look at all those wagons. Think of how long it's going to take to even fill all these wagons. I didn't count these, but the website said 256, so we'll take their word for it. It goes up along here, all the way around there, and comes into this loading station, and it's only just moving in now. Well, it could be parked there waiting to be prepared, but it's definitely arrived at the mine. This is the big loading station, and you can see the conveyor belt comes back into a similar storage pit unit here with these big long machines going up and down. So you can see how the system works. The iron ore gets mined, gets kind of put probably with dumpers into a big depot. You can see here marked the conveyor belt system. There's actually a tunnel again there where it goes underneath. Follow this conveyor all the way back, and it probably goes right into the heart of the mine. That's where it originates from. That's a dumper there, and the dumper is just driving up, and it's backing into this. I wonder, do they actually separate it a little bit, the material? Where's this dumper coming from? Let's follow the road. Very clear that there's a very strong road here. It's a bit strange. There's a dumper. Where's that dumper moved from, I wonder? Follow this road back. I'm going to close some of these tabs because it's going to make the machine a bit quicker. Follow it back along. There's a dumper again. So probably out from, this looks like a storage unit here. There's some machines, but not a storage unit for the actual iron ore. See, this dumper here is moving along. Ah, these look like hills of iron ore, perhaps. Yeah, I'd say this is where they're coming from. Either that or they're being filled directly from these machines when they're digging it out. There's another dumper. Yeah, I think this is probably a storage unit of the prepared material. Now, I was saying earlier on that maybe they don't want water going to the boats to mix with the iron ore, also to avoid weight imbalances. But this stuff is probably just out in the open. There's no sheds for it as such. Okay, we're going to quickly move on to one of the other mines, and then that'll be it for this video. I just wanted to show you this infrastructure in action. So we literally traced the train coming in to the storage depot, to the dumpers, dragging it out from the mine storage locations, and from the actual diggers and whatnot, bringing that stuff out. So we're going to follow this railway line. So you can see here, there's the curve. It kind of moves up along here, goes past an airport, specifically for the mine, I can imagine. You see there's some airplanes parked there right now. And then it goes up along here, and it curves off to the right, and up here we're going to see another mine. I think this is Brockman too, but I didn't fully clarify that. Seems like a bit of a smaller mine, mind you. Also very pretty from the sky. Must look a bit desolate when you're down there though. And again, here you see all these different interesting markings. I thought for a minute maybe they were explosives being marked out or something, but no, that wouldn't make sense. They wouldn't look like that, I think. Maybe they're little heaps of iron ore. I'm really grasping at straws. There's a dumper lining up, and there's a digger filling up the dumper, and that dumper is going to drive down here, along out of the site, probably to storage facility. That looks like heaps of iron ore or some sort of material. Some pits there. And at some point, that's going to end up on the railway system again. Okay, let's see if we can follow this railway system back to the port. I am certain we're going to be able to do this. I haven't planned this in advance. It goes up along here. Oh, this is pretty cool too. Another big iron ore facility, mining excavation site. But those roads, you can imagine how deep down that is. Again, I'm impressed that these are actually dry in the center, that they're not wet. Okay, following along here, and we're going to see some interesting irrigation systems actually up just above here. Again, someone described really well in my Brazil video how these actually work. There's kind of a pivot in the inside, and the entire system kind of rotates around and irrigates the land. I wonder what they're actually growing here. Look how green that is compared to that one. How barren that one looks. Very interesting. Again, these look like alien symbols from the sky. Yeah, and the railway basically moves along there and eventually finds its way back out. I'm not going to follow it all the way for the sake of the end of this video, but you can imagine how that moves up and up to the ports there, as was demonstrated in the map here. So we were in Brockman 4, we went up to Brockman 2, and then up and along. Plenty of other mines to explore there, but yeah, for today's video I think I've shown you how the train network works. And again, this is a very important part of the industry in Australia, getting it from the land out to the water. Rail transport is a lot cheaper than lorry or truck or road transport, and then in turn water transport is much cheaper again than rail transport. So they're really optimizing their system and have invested in the infrastructure to make their operations work properly.